Hello there, viewers. Good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are finally back in business over here. For those of you guys who were not aware, I had posted a video earlier on the second channel, Rayman Ray's Repairs Off Duty. And I put it on the off duty channel because it was a horrible train wreck of a video. It was basically me explaining how I destroyed my entire video catalog for all last week. What had happened is the SD card in my camera system had developed some kind of corruption, and I lost half of my footage, and then half of the remaining half of the footage, only half of that had audio, and the audio was only half audio. So I don't know what happened. I assume the SD card was broken. It tried to repair. The GoPro tried to repair the card or whatever, which did not yield any results. So unfortunately, I had lost a bunch of valuable footage, which is why we never got to finish the Ford Explorer video on the timing chain issue. I do have some other stuff on that Ford Explorer. It was the 02 red one, the 4.6, but we're not ready to make videos on that one yet to finish that series that I completely ruined. Changing gears today, we're moving over here to this Nissan Xterra. I just spoke with the customer that owns this. The guy just bought this car, and he feels like they just bolted a bunch of parts onto it, very rickety-like, and he wants some things taken care of. The primary concern on this one, and I did feature this car on that off-duty channel video, the primary concern is going to be way down there near the crankshaft pulley. It appears somebody installed a new alternator once, and they had a bunch of bracketry removed, and it looks like they either cross-threaded or damaged the bolts for said bracketry. So what we're going to do here today is tear all this stuff out of here, gain some access to the affected area, and survey the amount of damage. Now that we know what we're doing and why we're doing it, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to do it. But before we do anything, we need to pan over to the right, because the darling wife unit over here is patiently waiting for me to give her attention. Honey, what can I do for you? What you need?
I'm just watching.
You're just watching? Okay,
watching.
that's
I'm
it?
gonna take a break.
All right, well then we're patiently gonna wait over here, and we're gonna start the teardown on this. So let's start from step one. Let's get the air box out of here. I may need to remove the battery, but mostly I'm gonna be focusing on the front of the engine down here below, behind the radiator. So let's get some tools out and let's get started. Okay, phase one, air box lid, disconnect. Phase two, mass airflow sensor, disconnect. There we go. Phase three, bolts, disconnect on clamps. There we go. Phase four, unbolt bolts from airbox baffle noise damper thing. Beginning phase four now. There we go. Phase five, remove this hose right here. And I'm gonna get bored with this and stop naming phases in just a moment. Just saying. I mean, it's fun, but you know, you gotta read the room. Can't do it forever. Oh no, look, phase six. Take this little clamp thing out of here. Actually, now that I said I can't do it forever, I'm gonna do that this whole video. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Okay, got it. That's coming out now. Airbox. Disconnected. This is already encompassed in the first 6 phases. There we go. And we're not getting very far, are we? Phase 7, check air filter for potential upsell. Yep, needs an air filter. Phase 8, return air filter to airbox. There we go. Beautiful. Let's see what's up with this fan shroud. I'm hoping it's a 2-piece. Phase 9, take out fan shroud bolts. Okay, then there's a bunch of, I don't even know how this thing comes out of here. Okay. All right, so what I'm seeing here is we've got a couple hoses, some electrical lines, this upper radiator hose. All this stuff is running into this crack thing here on the shroud. And the shroud is also one piece, so I'm going to have to remove this fan clutch down here. I think it bolts on. Oh, nice, that's a bolt on. Yeah, you see that? So I got to pull the fan clutch out and then pull the shrouding out at the same time. So let's go ahead and get these hoses disconnected because they're in the way. We know coolant's already low, so we shouldn't be spilling much of it in order to get this hose off here. I think we're on phase 10, remove upper radiator hose. It might be phase 10, I don't know. I lost count. I actually walked away from the project for a minute and I forgot. So we're gonna call it phase 10, good round number, right? That's kind of stuck. Cool. Let's make it unstuck. What we'll do, go in here with this hose pick, go around said hose. Drop my hose pick. And just broke the radiator. El cheapo plastico. Okay, this job has just gotten worse. Look at here, see that? That's a fresh break. Brittle plastic. You guys saw it live action. I did nothing out of the ordinary, but watch this and see how bad this plastic is. Yeah, look, it just crumbles. Okay, needs a radiator. Here, let me show you something. See that green right there? That's also a coolant leak. So now we have two reasons to replace the radiator. One, I broke it, and two, it's leaking, so we need a radiator. Got it. Continuing on, now the real question here is, who's the responsible party financially for replacing that radiator? Because I did just break it. You saw that, right? I broke that radiator, 100% I broke it. Now, the conditions were present for the radiator to self-destruct, but it still died at my hand. Those pieces right there. So who pays for that? Do I have to pay for that, or does the customer have to pay for that? Maybe it depends on how it was broken. If it was broken with negligence, perhaps that's my responsibility. If it was waiting to break and I encouraged it, potentially I saved the guy a awkward moment of being stranded on the highway somewhere. I'll drop that inside of there. No big deal, it's already broken, so whatever. So technically, I think I did the guy a service by breaking his radiator. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below. This ought to be a controversial, fun topic right here. Controversy is good, kind of an instigator. Anyway, phase 11, continue breaking radiator. Let's see if I break this nipple off right here. Ooh. No broken nip. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is detach this surge tank hose from the shroud without breaking it. Not the shroud, the hose. I don't want to break the hose. Stick that over there. You stay. We should get the connectors disconnected. This stuff's all brittle. I can't like it. Just push the button, pull the connector. There we go. See, these can be removed without tearing them out. A lot of times you find these where they're just torn right out of there and they're junk. And just because they can be doesn't mean they're going to be, but I try. Yeah, I'm gonna tear that one out of there. That's out. All right, the shroud's disconnected. Back it up and get this fan removed next. Okay, so due to the physical limitations of this current operation, our visual enjoyment may be slightly impaired. And I'm going to do my best to circumnavigate those difficulties. It means we're going to go around it. So what I shall do here is get these bolts stuck. All right, it started coming off and then it stopped. That's fun. That's the downside of these bolt-on shrouds, or bolt-on fans rather. It can be a little difficult to gain access to. Yeah. Not a chance. Okay, that's fine. So we need more leverage than this, less leverage than this. So we're gonna use that. It's like the end of a ratchet, but not all of the ratchet. It's the high-speed version. I guess there's some surface rust on those studs sticking out or whatever. This is great. I'm glad I removed the skid panel earlier, because now when I drop these bolts, nuts, they're not going to get lost. Reels. Bear with me, fellas. We're gonna get through this. My flashlight just did a barrel roll. That was cool. Okay, second nut. I wonder, you know, I probably should have left that top one for last because that's easier to reach, but I got a plan. Of course I have a plan. It's like my greatest skill is coming up with plans and solutions. Okay, this nut's loose, and I don't even know if you can see that one down there. I'm gonna try to not drop it. Yeah, I got it. Oh, got it, yep, there she is. Okay, so now I need to loosen this belt some so I can turn this pulley to get the bottom nut to the top so I can reach it. So what we shall do is get a hold of that tensioner right, that guy right there. Get a hold of the tensioner, untension the belt, and then rotate the fan around and round. Okay, phase 13, 3/8 ratchet coming into the tensioner. Let's untension this belt real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the belt out all the way and get it out of our way, because it needs replaced anyway. It's got a bunch of cracks in it. So you can't get this thing to come out of here. It's stuck on the crankshaft down there. I'm reaching around. Okay. Come out, belt. Now it's stuck on the AC compressor. That's silliness. Oh, got it. Yeah, I'll show you those cracks while we're here. Take a gander. Look at that. See that right there? That's not okay. Those are cracked. That's not good. So yeah, those gotta go. Okay. All right. Phase back to phase 12, I think. I'm gonna spin this thing round and round, and then break it loose. And you saw what I did there when I took the belt off, right? That's potentially a slight issue requiring the use of tissue. So we're gonna use the shop tissue here. Use this to hold that, wedge that in. It's not gonna hurt the threads, we're good here. Don't be scared. Unclick. It is now loose. Ding. Stay right there. Go and spin that off. The bolt's coming off quite nicely. The nut. There she is. So, drop some stuff here. Now what we're gonna do is pull this fan off. Don't need to worry about smashing the radiator because it's already broken. I effectively destroyed that already. So what I'll do, watch this. us. Darling, hold this camera right here for me.
Oh.
Lauren just walked up. She's gonna
Hi.
help us out. Hold that right there, because I only have one hand and I need 4 available. Yeah, right there. Just point it right in there. There you go. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
There we go. That's the fan and fan clutch assembly. And this business. Oh, there's a hose. It's got hose attached to it. What?
Nothing.
It does. It's got the hose. It was a transmission hose. It was a trans hose.
Even Dave's laughing back there.
Why? What is so funny about trans hoses? I'm not picking up what y'all are putting down. You guys are snickering at me. I don't get it. Anyway, there's our bolt thing in question down there. That's that thing. They think the report was that was stripped out, and I've also seen, I'll show you, that bolt is not flush. That alternator bolt right there, that one is not sitting flush with the nadir, and they said that's stripped. So let's try to tighten it and see what happens. What do you say? How much was that AC Delco one? No, AC Delco's fine. Yeah, that's good stuff. I'll take Delco stuff. Here, now let's take this bolt out and see what it looks like on the way out, and then we'll see what it does on the way in. Yeah, it was not tight at all. Okay. I'm not sure what this is about. Yeah, they screwed the threads up. Or something. Well, tell you what, I'm gonna take this whole bracket thing off right here, and then maybe we can look inside of that hole and see if there's a problem. See exactly what the part that is threaded is. I hope it's not the engine block. That could be catastrophically bad. Let's start breaking some fasteners loose here. That was tight. This is for the tensioner. Ding! And then this one's tensioner bracket. Come on. I don't even know why that bolt in question has been removed to begin with, to tell you the truth, because these other bolts have not. So someone took that out for reasons unknown to me. Okay. But the guy just bought the car, so nobody knows. We have no knowledge, minimal information. And there's that one. There's one more up here. Flashlight. Not stuck. Okay. Alright, so that last one we can't see, it's right under this pulley. I'm just gonna take this pulley off. Oh, now that's a contraption, isn't it? Okay. Stay. Well, I can see the hole in question now. but I am going to just remove this entirely. It has many layers. Many layers. Okay, so that's the hole in question. That guy right there. Since it is a hole, we cannot see inside of it. So what I'm going to do is employ the use of a borescope camera here. The footage is going to be a little grainy and crude because we're going from a camera to a screen to a camera. But we're going to put this in there. Oh, that's as far as it goes. Yeah, there's boogered threads in there, that's for sure. That's in the block. That's engine block threads. So, in a situation like this, what do? Well, cross thread is better than no thread, isn't it? Right? See if I can't find a tap. Because see, it starts the thread up, and then it stops. Yep. And I don't believe these bolts are wrong, because all of the others that I took out, they're the same length. So we couldn't have got the bolts crisscrossed applesauce by any means. They're all the same length. So somebody screwed up the holes in there. I don't know how they did that. I have no idea how they did that. That's actually quite impressive, to tell you the truth. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can't run a tap inside of there, clean those threads up some, and then maybe try to put this bolt back in. Okay, well, I don't have the tap that I need just yet for that hole. It's a 10 by 1.5 is the thread pitch, it's 10 millimeter, and then 1.5. I don't have that tap here, so I got one coming on the way. Let's pull this other bolt out, this one on the alternator, and see if that one's nastily damaged as well. Looks like it. Didn't even come out. Come on. I think they ruined the alternator. Yeah, I can't get that out. We need more gun. Yeah, that's not coming out. It's just spinning. That's awesome sauce. This is gonna go south quickly. I need more visual. Let's remove this power steering pulley pump pulley. This thing. Let's take this off. If it's gonna come off there. I don't know. All right, I'm going to make an attempt here to get this alternator bolt to come out. What we're gonna do is stick a pry bar in there. We're gonna wedge up against the case. That's gonna put a side load on that bolt right there. And if we get the friction just right on the thread side of that bolt thing, then we should be able to get that bolt to come out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We're gonna find out. It's not coming out. All right, let's raise this up and look at it from the bottom / backside. Okay, Xterra, moving on up. Black subscribe button. See a little thing I do here to passively remind all the new people to consider subscribing to the channel. That way you do not miss out on any future content, because that would be bad. Yeah, see, I told you I was gonna get back to normal. We're doing all right. Oh yeah. Back to normular. Yeah, even Troy's back. That's definitely back to normular. Troy is back. What's up, man? He's over there. He's working on a car. What? I said hola. Hola, senor. You are, actually, yeah, you're Cuban, so you can speak Spanish.
I can say that.
You can say that? You look like you're Irish, though, man. I don't know about Cuban. I don't know. 23andMe lied to you. You're a mutt?
I'm a mutt.
That just means you're American. One more set of click actions here. That should do it. Oh, hey, fun fact. Venpac repaired my lift cylinder. See that? They gave me a new one. I got a whole new cylinder. So now I got another brand new cylinder sitting outside that I can't use. I guess I need to throw it away. I need an illumination device right here. So problem is you see that little metal looking stud thing right there sticking up? That thing? That is the problem. That is what's not fitting with the bolt, okay? So I need to figure out how to make that thing not turn so I can get that bolt to come out. That's the issue. I say we should throw some vice grips on it and go from there. Either that or I'm gonna have to weld something to it or something. I don't know. I've never had to do this before. Let's get this guy out of here. Need things out of the way. Yeah, I can probably try to get maybe vice grips up there or something. That'd be a good starting point. All right, more tools. To the box we go. Okay, so here's my bright idea. I have shoved a little baby set of vice grips. You guys can't see it there for nothing. I got a little baby set of vice grips on that stud thing, and I'm going to hope that that holds on to the stud thing so I can get the bolt thing to come out of the alternator thing. I think this is phase, I don't know, like 36 now. We're at the end of our phase counts. I told you I was gonna forget count. Is it working? I think I got it. Yep, there's the bolt. What the heck is going on here? I know, someone put new bolts in it and they're the wrong bolt. That's what the problem is. Yeah, okay, well, I don't think I can get that insert thing to come out of there. Yeah. Let me try something here. And none of this stuff fits. Okay, on the front side again, I want to get this lower alternator bracket bolt loose. That thing's got to come out. I can't work on this with the nader in position. Okay, bottom nader bolt. So now this alternating nator is flip-flop loose. And I cannot seem to reach the power cable because that's hard to reach. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I want to get the connector, the control wire connector off first because this thing's kind of hanging from the cable. There we go. Okay, there's the cable bolt, wrong size. Let's try 11, wrong size. 12, right size. And battery must be dead, look. Kidding, I disconnected it. JK. Yeah. You know, I hope the guy that owns this didn't do this work, because I kind of was like, hey, it looks like someone just threw parts at this. He concurred and also spoke in third person as if someone else had done the deed. I think I need to get this nader up through the top. It might come out here. Yeah, it's coming out over here. Maybe it might be coming out through here. or I'm getting it stuck in here. Could be doing that. Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's assess the damages here. Let's see if we can't see this, focus this in real nice and close like. So we've got good looking threads. Yeah, right there on the back side. But on the front side, we got two stages of threads here. What had happened was either somebody changed the bolts, that's not the one. Oh, it's over here. That's not the one. It's over here, that one. Someone changed these bolts. This bolt is not the one that goes in here. And they sent it, and it cut new threads into that insert right up till the point where that insert started to turn, and we could no longer get threads to go in it. And the reason I know that is because we've got two different kinds of threads here on this unit. So I don't know why. Oh, I just got it too tight, I can't take it off. So my tightening fingers are not as strong as my loosening fingers. See, those threads are looking kind of decent. They're a little flattened out, so you can tell it's been cutting new threads into this, but if I try to put it in the other side, we go a little bit and then we stop. So what happened is someone put this alternator in, they installed this bolt. This bolt is the wrong bolt, that's not the one that goes in there. And they went ahead and just jammed it in and sent it. It cut new threads until the friction on these threads overpowered the friction between this case and these threads here. So the problem that we have now is I can't replace this, okay? I don't know where to get those. I have no idea where to get those, and there's probably no listing for those either. So I don't think I can replace just this. But now I also need to find a new bolt that goes in there. So I gotta find a bolt and probably order another alternator, and we gotta get rid of this brand new alternator because I can't get one of these. That's damaged beyond repair. Or is it? Wait a minute. We'll use the same tap and die set that we had used. Should be a 10 by 125, right? Yeah, 10 by 125. We'll use the same tap and die set that I plan on using on those threads down there. I actually might be able to fix this. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so out of that set over there, I've got a metric 10 by 1.25 thread pitch. Now I know that this is an M10 by 1.5 thread pitch, so this tap should fix those threads. At that point, all I'm going to have to do is find the appropriate replacement bolt and put this back. If this works. Yeah, it's cheesed up pretty bad. It's so nasty. Aha. All right, so I just saved my guy 500 bucks. Beautiful. Okay, so now I just need to find the appropriate bolt. Next, we need to take 10 by 1.5. Let's make sure that's the right pitch on these. Yep, that matches up perfectly. Good. So, hey, whoa, what are you doing? You're spilling stuff. Anyway, what I want to do is run one of those taps down through that hole down there and see if we can't clean up the threads on the block. But let's just double check that fits. So that is the right thread pitch. That one goes in. That one. So it stands to reason that this one is the same pitch, but we have a problem here. It's not going to work because these little taps are these kinds, and they're just not going to fit in the hole. That's a flaw. Failure. Okay, so now I need to find another tap in 10 by 1.25. I need a regular style tap. Okie dokes. So I have called up everybody looking for a standard normal 10 by 1.25 thread pitch tap, and those are non-existent. The ones they can get me are those little short stubby guys, which are not going to fit in the hole. So I'm going to go down to the depot and see if they have a tap. And I'm also going to try to get a replacement bolt, because I need a bolt that is this long, that is in the 10 by 1.25 to put back into the alternator. So we're going on a field trip, starting the engine. That's actually kind of cool, because now we can talk about the Silverado build update that's been going down on this thing. I had made a whole ridiculously long build series. Get some AC going here. Made a whole super long build series on this unit where I basically built a brand new truck. And when it came to the end, everybody was asking me about the finished product video. And I did make a synopsis video that I also stuck over on the off-duty channel, just because it was a different kind of format and I wasn't sure if it really fit the theme of the regular normal channel. I believe I titled it the $100,000 used car, and we went through all the component lists, including purchase price and things of that nature. So it's not really 100 grand in parts, but I called it the $100,000 used car. And we went through and did a whole walkthrough on the build series, breaking down the parts and what they cost. But I didn't really do a final video on it because I had to get some tuning work done, because the larger turbo required me to change some fueling parameters on this, and it was going to be a smoky kind of tailpipe emission sort of deal. So I ended up getting, you go ahead. They didn't hear me. I had to basically put a tune on the CCM in order to run and drive the vehicle. Nice turn signal. But there is a finished, nearly finished-ish completed project. It sounds really nice. It's got that super sweet whistle, and it makes remarkable horsepowers. The cool thing about this is there's a 5-position tune on it. There's actually 5 tunes here. There's like a stock plus tune, a light tow, heavy tow, sport mode, and then a race mode. I do not like to run this bad boy on mode 5. It's gnarly. Mode 4 is really aggressive, but I like the way that the turbo sounds at idle in mode 4. I just got to keep my foot out of it some. And of course there's always mode 1. Mode 1's meh. Mode 2 is good. Regardless, each of those modes sets up different power levels and like fuel timing and things of that nature, and boost pressures as well. But you can actually sit here and watch on the Banks gauge while we're driving, and I can turn this tune from like 2 to 5, and you'll watch the compressor outlet pressure, boost pressure, you'll watch that skyrocket as the tune is shifted. It's really cool. Now I'm still in the break-in period on this. I've done 2 oil changes so far. We did the first 500-mile oil change. The second oil change, they said to do it to 1,000, but I did it at 500 anyway. And those were using both straight 30-weight Amsoil break-in oil. That's a high ZDDP or high zinc content, and that's designed to allow the wear on the piston rings so that they seat properly. After that one, I did a Rotella T4 non-synthetic regular diesel oil change, and I'm supposed to run that one out to about 5,000 miles. I'm going to change it at 3, and then I'm going to do T4 for another 3. Then after that, I'm going to switch it back to my Amsoil Signature Series or heavy duty diesel oil. Go ahead and make this turn here. Look at that there. Boost pressure. Yeah, that's 28 pounds, and I wasn't even trying to go anywhere. We were like half throttle. This thing's got some get up and go to it. It's enough to break the transmission. I can feel it. And this is a built transmission. They told me, or I told them 700 horsepower, and they said it would hold on to 700, 750-ish. I think on my stage 5 tune, I might be pushing that. It's a little scary. I did a boosted launch about a week ago on stage 5, and I'll probably never do that thing again. Like, this thing was like, oh, it was not okay. It sounded pretty serious, and it didn't feel that great. Like, it was a lot to hang on to, and this truck weighs 9,000 pounds. So you really shouldn't be launching 9,000 pounds going super fast. I did not build this to be a race car. I built it to tow things and not be a dog while I'm trying to do it. As a consequence, it does go a lot faster. I have not had this on a dyno. I'm speculating, guessing it's making probably around 600 when I've got it in mode 4. We'll call mode 3 maybe 540, 550, and then we turn it down. I think it's a baseline. I think on stage 1 it feels like it's about 450 horsepower, which is a massive step up just from the regular stock numbers. Overall, I'm very happy with its performance level so far. So that's kind of the best update I can give you guys right now. I do have some more parts to put on this truck. I've got a Banks transmission cooler pan, but I want to make like a whole before and after using transmission temperature data before I do the pan, because I want to illustrate that pan does provide some cooling assistance for the Allison 1000 transmission, but I'll get around to doing that stuff later. So I guess what I'm saying is that although the truck is driving and is in operating condition, it's a build project, and build projects have a habit of never being done. So it's not done yet, but we're creeping up there. We're in the break-in period. I've been driving it, been using it, been towing with it, so it's doing all the things it needs to do. Hello, phone. Good, man. I'm good. How are you, sir? What can I do for you today?
The reason of this call is that all auto insurance companies have recently dropped down rates in the market.
Yeah?
Let me ask you this. If I offer you something better, something cheaper than what you're already paying right now, would you consider that as an option? Think about it, maybe?
I don't know. Who's the insurance company?
The call is in regards to your auto insurance.
Yeah, what company do you work for? Who is it? It's not a hard question.
Just give me 30 quick seconds and let me see what we can offer you. Please hold on.
Is this a robot? Dude.
Thanks for holding.
Yeah, hi, who are you?
Thanks for holding.
I didn't hold very long.
Make and model of your car?
No, I didn't say that. I asked a question. What company do you work for? Who is this?
Allstate Insurance.
Allstate Insurance. Okay. Nah, I don't want any of that. Allstate Insurance. You're the guys that say you're in good hands with Allstate, right? Is that your logo? Slogan? Dude hung up on me. Really? Wow. Flipping brokers. Yeah, so anyway, now that the scam caller people are all done calling me, I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah, the truck. So the build project on the truck it's coming along. It's really nice. I have not done the paint work yet. I wanted to get the thing back in service, and my guy who does my paint work was not able to get it in right now, so we can defer that for later on. Anyway, we're approaching the Home Depot right quick. Maybe I should go to Lowe's instead. Yay, I'll go to Home Depot first. We're going to Home Depot. I'm gonna see if I can't get a replacement bolt for that alternator, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys in a second at the store. And a few moments later, we have arrived. Let's get this unit parked over here and see what we can do about finding that fastener. Ah, perfect parking space. Right there, beautiful. All right, powering down. I have found the hardware section. So now we need some grade 8 or at least grade 5. And in the M10, maybe down here, 10 by 1, these are way too short. That's not gonna cut it. Nope, not that one. Yeah, it's an 8/8 bolt, M12 by 1.2. No, I need M10 by 1.25. Okay, here's what we got. Both of these, 10 by 1.25. This one's 100 millimeters in length, and this one is 110 in length, okay? this is the wrong bolt, but I seem to have the right size. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get both of these. Okay, so I got both of those, but just for good measure, I want to get one more. We'll get the shorter one just in case. This one's at 90 millimeters. Now, I don't know if that's gonna be a little too short. My concern is I'm gonna run out of threads before the shank bottoms out. So I'm gonna get all three of these guys right here. And one of the three is going to work. All right, we got the goods. 3 fasteners, even though I only need 1, but I'm extra prepared. Real quick before we go, leaving the Home Depot here, I met a guy in there. His name's Eddie, and Eddie's a viewer of the channel. So Eddie doesn't know I was making a video today, but if you guys don't mind, down in the comment section, say hi, Eddie. That way he's got a nice delight whenever he gets around to seeing this video. I think that'd be pretty cool. Make the man's day. It made mine. I enjoyed talking to him. He's a cool cat. Okay, we're back. 3 new bolts. Here's the old bolt in the wrong thread pitch. See how those guys don't really, let me focus this some. Take a look, see how those threads don't mesh together. Pitch is wrong on them. So this is what destroyed threads in that one. So we don't need this bolt anymore. So what I need to determine is which one of these bolts is going to fit this the best. And I think we need to go with the longer one. Absolutely. We need to go with the longer one. So let's do this. We know those were the good threads, and we did run the tap through it, but they're still pretty boogered up. So what we'll do is we will run the bolt through the back side. Yeah, see that? We're not tearing up threads, they're just not too happy in there. Let's run that tap one more time. 10, 1 1/4. That's not gonna work. Wrong right socket. Yeah, see that tap runs no problem, but the bolt is still being a little stubborn on it. So here, let's do this. Rather than silence Siri, silly robot. Let's use the bolt that we know we're not going to use as our thread cutter bolt. I realize it's not a tap, but it's going to fit better than the tap. Okay, well, that worked. It went in and it came out and did not tear up threads. They're a little scored. I could tell from where they were cutting themselves through, but I think this will be sufficient here. Okay, so doing that probably move some thread around, so let's run the tap one more time so we can cut away any like slivers of metal or whatever. No, tap doesn't care. But regardless, we can get that bolt in. Since that bolt goes in, we should be able to put this nader back. Let's do it from the front side and see what she does. That will do. That will do. Beautiful. All right, let's let this thing back down into its layer. You stay right here. Oh, that's heavy and awkward. That right there. So we're gonna go lift this truck back up now, and that should be good. And we'll get that battery post cable connected, and then we'll put this thing in its bracket. Let's raise her back up. Second chance, black subscribe button one more time. We'll run her back up. We'll put that cable back on the nader, plug in the control wires, and then hang the nader on its bracket, and we'll see if it's gonna bolt down. I did check the Home Depot for that metric 10 by 1.5 tap that I need for the front timing cover, and the store I was at did not have it. So I'm gonna check another store on my way home. So I don't know if I can fix that hole yet. The bonus side is I could probably get away with leaving it out, or we can just send it and never remove it again. But I'd rather run a tap through there and try to fix it, but I'm gonna have to find another one. So that being said, we're not gonna get this finished today. Plus I'm waiting for the radiator to show up, so that's not gonna be here today. But we're gonna get as far as humanly possible on this. I wanna see first if we can make this alternator bolt back together. That should be good for right now. Go back down under. Oh, you know what? Safety locks. Yeah, you thought you caught me slipping, but you didn't. There we go. Picky. Okay. So, what we're gonna do, need to put this thing back on. This is fun. No worky space for me. And all this rubber on these things is covered in oil, which makes them squishy. Squishy oil rubber stuff. Yeah, that's about right. There's these little tangs on this cable, which you guys can't see because my hands are in the way. There's little tangs on this cable right here, and those tangs are supposed to fit into grooves on the top of this alternator. I'm trying to get them lined up here. I think that's close. I'm getting flangy fatigue. There we go. Whoa, okay. Tighten that guy down some. Dick. And the connector, which is out of frame, kind of, that's on. Okay, the alternator is now fitting, fits up in this position there. That's good, that's right where it lives. So we're probably not coming back in this area for a minute, so I'm gonna plug this guy back in. That's good right there. Let's go back to the top side and get the bolt in and see how she does. Hang on, changing my mind. We're still on the bottom, but I can reach that alternator deal right here, so. Yeah, there we go. Put that in. And I think it's starting to thread. Nope. There it is. Now it's starting to thread. Okay, let's get the gun out, run that thing downish. Put the bottom bolt in too, that way it's all straight and oriented properly. You guys see that bottom nader bolt? Not really. Yeah, bear with me, folks. We're gonna get through this. Come on. All right, bottom one's in, so now the nader is located. It's where it's supposed to be, right? So what we're gonna do, get this gun in here, flip it around so I can reach. It's going. Let's look at it from the back side and make sure it's pulling that bolt all the way through. Okay, so what you guys are looking at is that little metal stud thing right there. I'm going around in the front and we're going to tighten up the bolt. It's going to pull that stud inwards. Click. And that's that. The nader is now secure. Now up here on the front again, we just got the bracket bolts. And that lower one. Beautiful. Okay, the alternator's been fixed. As for that bolt right there, I don't know about that. Yeah, I gotta run a tap through that one, figure it out. Coming back down again. I think what I'm gonna do next is get this down the ground, and we're gonna go ahead and open the petcock valve on the radiator, drain the radiator, get all the coolant out of it, and then remove that radiator next. That's gonna be the next thing on the list of things. I realize we might be overly concerned about the damaged threads in the engine block. The reality is I know based on the way it came out that I can put a fastener in there and just send it full force and jam it in, and it'll work. The other reality is that bolt is for a bracket, and that bracket had 2 more bolts. So even if we left that out, technically it should probably be fine. I don't like to do things like that, but if we're kind of stuck on, we have engine damage and there's nothing I can do about it, then that's how it's going to be. But again, I'm going to put a tap in there first. I'm super duper confident that's not going to be a huge issue at this point. Petcock valve and the radiator. Let's get that thing drained, and then we will disconnect lower hose, this little fan deal right here, brackets. Oh, fun, look. There's, the bolt points that way. That's dumb. Yeah, same right here. The AC condenser bolts are pointing that direction. I can probably get them out with a little, one of these guys. Okay, let's get this thing drained out. Okay, rolling around in the dirt. So there's the little valve right there. Now we're either gonna break it or it's gonna come right out. And I didn't hear it snap, so it's coming right out. That's grand. We're gonna have a splash zone moment occur in a moment. Yep, there it is. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, there's another bolt right there on the side of this thing. Okay, so I've got 2 transmission cooler hoses to remove and the upper and lower hoses. All right. Okay, my next victim is gonna be this fan right here. There's our 10, and it should have been, yeah, all the way disconnected, so we're good there. Put that bolt back in for right now. That way I know where it goes. I think that's where it went, right? Sure. That one can go there. Good. Okay, let's go and get these AC condenser bolts out of the radiator. Then we'll take these 2 top brackets off the radiator. Try to wiggle this thing out of here. And of course, we got to go down below and get those trans lines removed. I don't have the gasket for that oil cooler assembly thing down there, but we will get to that as well. That's part of the repair sequence here. Is that going to be enough? Yep. Good. That in the stack. Okay, I need to take, there's a bolt here. I think might just be a bushing. Yeah, we need to go back down below, I think. Let's get, I don't know if I can reach this one. Kind of. Yeah, it's tight in there, boys. That's super tight squeeze. No, come on. It's coming out. Due to the awesome grippiness of my grippy gloves. Put that over there. So now the condenser's free-ish from the radiator. Let's go and get the transmission cooler hoses disconnected. And I think I needed one more tool. This one. I'll be back for it. Let's just get the hoses. Let's see. Yeah, real easy. Those are power steering hoses. Cool. Either that or the transmission fluid is brown, gold in color. Yeah. Put that down there, let her drain. Good. And I need that bolt plus maybe another. Hey look, it's super sparkly. There is stop leak inside of the power steering fluid. I think that's power steering. I hope it is. If it's not, then that means there's stop leak in the transmission. It's even worse. It's that bracket thing. Does that come apart? No, it does not. Okay. Well, let's get the one on the other side there. Spin myself round and round. Raw. There we go. Okay, let's go up top. Yeah. These ones next. Definitely these ones next. Wrong way. Put that on the air filter, keep it safe. There we go. I'm not sure how this works. Look, there's another grommet there. I guess the whole deal just lifts up and comes out, and the brackets come with it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Cool. There's one of those end bracket deals. Go. Let's use the proper tool. Okay. So there's a big nut on the front of that. That's the thing that secures this housing to the filter adapter or whatever. That nut is also the threads that hold on to the oil filter. So we need to take that nut out, and then this housing right here will come off of this bracket thing, and then there's a big O-ring behind it, and that's going to be our leaker. So we need to get that guy out of there. Okay, got a 24mm socket here. Oh yeah, that wasn't even tight. That means that that gasket behind there definitely relaxed and flattened out. Yeah, that was super duper loose-ish. Come on. Okay, that's the fastener for the oil filter and for the filter housing. Set that up here on the battery tool tray, and then drop the flashlight in the water. Awesome. Take the flashlight out of the water, dry it out. That was awesome sauce. And then here, that's the O-ring. That guy, look at it, it's super duper flat. It's like flush with the metal. Can you guys see that? Let me let you down there some. That's a square cut O-ring, but it's not supposed to be flat like that. Super flush. That's why the bolt was loose, and that's why we're leaking everywhere. By the way, you Nissan people, the labor guide is wrong for this operation. It often says that this job is like 3 hours to do that, and it's not 3 hours to replace this O-ring. You really just take the oil filter off, take the bolt out, take the O-ring out, put the new one on, bolt it back on. It's not a 3 hour job. So the book time is wrong. So if somebody's charging you 3 hours for this, they're ripping you off. So use caution. Anyway, I'm waiting on one of these. We're waiting on a radiator, and I need to go down to another Home Depot and try to find the tap for that one there. I thought the parts guys were gonna hook me up. They don't have one. The other Home Depot I was at didn't have one, so we have to go to one more store, and then we'll be able to maybe try to fix that hole and then get that bracket thing back together. If not, I do have a solution that I might be able to utilize, but I don't want to because that bolt is supposed to sandwich this timing cover against the block. I could drill this out and put in a time cert right here and then use a thinner or shorter bolt, but then that means that that bracket's hanging off the cover and could potentially break the timing cover. So I don't want to do that. I would rather cross thread in the bolt that was already in there and just send it and let that be the fix. But that's pretty much all I can do at this point. Until we get parts, I think we're done. That being said, it is into day right now, and I've been on this for a few hours, so I think we're calling it good at this point. We're in full disassembly mode, and now I'm just waiting on parts to show up, so I will pick this thing back up in the morning. As always, in closing, whoa, gravity. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Please let me know what you think about this situation in the comment section down below. I do read the majority of the comments on my videos. I may or may not reply to you. Don't take it personally if I don't. There's a lot of comments in there, but the ones that stick out to me that I have a good quick answer for, I got you on that one. If you write me a whole question paragraph, I'll read it, but I'm probably not going to respond to the big giant paragraph ones because there's just too much for me to reply to in such a forum. So again, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to engage that like button while you're down there, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later. End of video, end of day, end of Nissan, end of somebody else's botched job, end of transmission.